Welcome everyone to episode 41? 41 episodes, Blue, of the Fanatic Sports Podcast, season 2. Okay, look, we're big time. All right, we're big time. We
got removed. Huh?
We already have one half, and so we're waiting on the other half of Sports Uncorked is joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. Rachel, super excited to have you. Don't worry. the shenanigans, she's grinning because she already knows. It's fine. There will only be a little bit of shenanigans, not a lot. Well, I guess
bring them on.
I guess it depends on how soon Marisa gets here.
I know. I'm like, what kind of work's jamming you up?
Yeah. Well,
it's way more important.
Well, obviously, and it's football season. It's officially week 0. Right?
Thank God. I didn't think we were going to make it through the summer.
Apparently, in Little Rock, it finally hit triple digits this week, Blue. It finally hit triple digits. We finally hit. I thought it was a weird time of year for Little Rock to finally go over 100 degrees, but here we are. And so, but having said that, we are extremely happy to have you here, and hopefully we'll have Marisa joining us soon. There is. My name is Blocker for those who may be new, and my favorite kind of wine is free wine. So, Blue, do you have a favorite wine? Look at that. Oh, did Blue freeze?
I think he's been frozen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
So I'll tell you my favorite kind of wine.
Yes, please.
Pinot Noir.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. So, weird fact about myself is that 2020 original COVID came around, and I'm one of these COVID long haulers that lost all of my taste and all of my smell. So I've been 5 years without official taste and smell. The only thing that I can taste and smell is wine. And I know a lot of people are calling like complete bullshit on this, right? I can't explain it. I don't understand it, but I've become a complete wine fanatic because it's truly like the only thing that brings me joy. I can't taste my food. I can't smell a candle, but I can taste and smell wine like sommelier level. Have done. So that's why wine is part of my sports podcast, is because the two things that bring me the most joy in life right now are sports and wine, and there's a happy intersection and median in between both of them. So I love Pinots, and I love Pinots specifically from Oregon because, again, I can taste the difference between a California Pinot and an Oregon Pinot. So an Oregon Pinot is my favorite.
So it reminds me of the old Thomas Jefferson quote that says that beer and wine are proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. And so thinking about that you are, I mean, of all things you know, there's, I guess the old saying, God knows how much we can bear. So he left the important taste buds.
That's what I'm saying. And I can't remember who said it. I think it was Ben Franklin who said, I feel sorry for people who don't drink because when they wake up in the morning, that's the best they're going to feel all day. I agree. Just a little bit to take that edge off at the end of the day is fabulous.
Ben Franklin was an Henderson drinker. I'm a Henderson drinker.
Do you have a favorite wine?
Well, what?
Do you have a favorite wine?
I'm kind of. Are you asking me, Bloka?
Whoever wants to go first.
Ladies first.
I'm all over the place. I really anything from that Willamette Valley area in Oregon is totally drinkable for me. What I'm drinking on right now is actually it's a Pinot from Willamette Valley. It's a Colleen Clemens, and I love Colleen Clemens. They have a beautiful tasting room. This is actually a wine from 2019? I think it was 2019. They actually had a lot of fires that came through and destroyed a lot of crop in the area. And so it's kind of weird. Some of these 2018, 2019, I can't remember exactly which year, but you open one bottle and it tastes phenomenal. You open another bottle and it has that wildfire smoke to it. So it's a little bit like a little bit of roulette.
Wow. But you know, like I've never thought about it that way with wine, but for it to have sort of that story in the flavor, that's almost poetic.
Yeah, there's so much of a science to it. I mean, I think that winemakers are they're scientists. That's the way I see it. They're farmers and they're scientists, and it brings all of those beautiful like elements together. So yeah, it's cool. Hey, Russ.
Hi.
All right, so we've gotta take some demerits because clearly your priorities are not aligned properly.
I'm sorry. I will let my bosses know.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I got stuff. Okay, this is so Marissa, meet Blue, Marissa.
Hi, Blue.
We are Blue. Did you freeze? He's having a little bit of issues, and ironically, right before Rachel joined, we were just talking about the importance of professionalism, and here we are.
You're talking to the right group of girls about the importance of professionalism.
Yeah, well, look, one thing I have counted on. I've done broadcasting of all types for the last probably 10 years now, and one thing I've almost always guaranteed is that something's not going to go according to plan. And I'm
100%.
I'm fine with it. My mentor, who's actually from Louisiana, he's from, I think the Shreveport area. And he was the type of guy that, and he kind of instilled this in me. And it was hey, look, we're going to get this done one way or the other. Right. So, regardless of what happens, whether it's, if the cord falls out and it's not staying, or we can't get on the internet, I mean, you name it. Every question that's occurred, or every problem that's occurred, I probably just about seen and dealt with. And I mean, he'll say his Cajun words, and we'll get right back. We'll bite down and we'll get it done. And so that's the way we. But and he was also kind of the guy that was a hey, there's not such thing as a no, right? Like I'm convinced if I asked him to help me build a gingerbread house, he would do it, right? Like he's gonna come with the gum button, door handle for us and make it work. So I mean, it's a blast. Shout out to James Burkhardt. He's an awesome guy. So all right, we got the whole band's here, I think, so we can kind of get started. So
man, you still messing around with that? You still messing around with that Metro PCS internet down there?
Look, I just bought a new router to go in my studio.
Don't blame it on the routers. On the
router. or whatever. Listen, it's Louisiana. We can blame everything.
Y'all still messing with that dial-up down there. The dial-up down there.
So I play.
I'm in the country. I'm in the Delta, dude. And my internet back in better than yours. That's messed up. That's really.
I played the dial-up sound for my kids the other day, and that's a level of confusion I have yet to witness. I didn't realize that they had no idea what that noise was at all. It's I don't want to try to make it. You know what I'm talking about.
I see your dial-up, and I raised you this one. My cousin had her niece over there to the house. She still got a landline. She didn't know how to use a landline.
A landline phone?
A landline phone. She didn't know how to use it.
For what? Terrific.
I'm saying she know how to use one. She tried to see if she know how to use a landline phone. She know how to use it.
I believe it.
Emergencies, right? You got to have those for emergencies.
That makes sense. Okay. All right.
Hey,
I don't know. That's what my parents say. Okay.
When they eventually drop the bombs and none of us have cell service, she's going to be the only one that's able to contact us.
Back in my backsliding days, landline came in handy. Back in my backsliding days.
Okay, so officially welcome the Sports Uncorked podcast to our show. We're very happy to have
you. I didn't tell you what my favorite wine was.
Oh yeah, that's where we were. Talk to me. I guess he's not going to.
Oh, he's got Metro PCS. What is he talking about?
Yeah.
Bragging on you.
Mint Mobile has entered the chat.
That's great. Great. Now that you said that, I'm going to get 19 ads on Snapchat about Mint Mobile. Is that what so you're not whining today, Marisa? Is that a Truly?
It's not a Truly.
Okay.
It's actually a beer.
Okay.
It is a beer by a brewery called Golden Road, which I love because it is very female forward and it's one of my favorites. It's a mango cart. So that is what I'm drinking tonight.
Okay. All right. Are you in Colorado?
No, I'm in Charlotte.
You're in Charlotte. Okay, Rachel, you're in Colorado?
I'm in Colorado, so I'm drinking a glass of wine at 3:15 on a Monday. So,
It's been one of those days.
You can't drink all day if you don't start before 9.
Hey, that is the motto of college football, if I've ever heard.
That's great. Okay, so look, before we start, as we discussed, the importance of we're called the Fanatic Sports Podcast. So because Fanatic is a synonym for passionate or crazy. You pick. So tell me your fan story. How did you guys become fans of any favorite team?
So I can tell you kind of a story that you would probably not expect from an Alabama fan.
Okay.
I grew up a diehard Auburn fan.
Oh.
Yeah. So my parents live in North Alabama. We were raised as Auburn fans. We went to a number of Auburn games during each football season growing up, went to Tiger Walk, rolled Toomer's Corner, did all of that stuff. When I graduated from high school, I applied to Auburn, got in. My first week was great. My second week was, oh my God, they really do party in trailer parks. Week 3 was like, oh my God, when you're a senior, you hope that you are friends with someone who was in the class ahead of you so that you get the opportunity to live in a trailer. And week 4, I was like, I don't think I can go to school here anymore. Like this is, I will survive this year, but this is kind of, growing up in Alabama, this is kind of what I was trying to get away from. Okay. So I had like half of my friends that were at Auburn, half of my friends that were in Tuscaloosa. And so I ended up kind of splitting time between the two schools and ultimately ended up loving Tuscaloosa. Now, I, for some reason, thought that I could transfer to Alabama and still remain an Auburn fan because I was diehard. Okay. That lasted all of about 2 weeks before the tradition that everyone talks about and that I personally made fun of for my entire life truly consumed me and sucked me in. And I was like, okay, this is different. I love this. I love this campus. I love this school. And this was all while going on during the Shula years. So it's not like I was in college during the Saban years when we were good. Right. This was during the Shula years.
So you really just really like the Bama. All right.
I did. So that's like my fandom story is I went from one side to the dark side in my mind. It survived, it came out on top. And now actually Marisa and I have a fun story, but I actually don't an Alabama tattoo now. It's gone that far.
Where is it?
It's behind my ear, and we'll have to tell you that. We'll have to tell you that story
Yes.
For another day.
Yeah.
We try to keep it
That's a
classy Monday through Friday.
Fanatic After Dark. This sounds like
Yeah.
we more
Both jobs.
Oh, that kind of fun. Terrific. Terrific. How about so you're wearing an Eagles pullover here, Marisa. Tell us.
I am. I'm wearing an Eagles pullover in case you hadn't heard, but the Eagles just recently acquired another Bama alum. So Mechie has joined the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to be joining his fellow Crimson Tiders, which is Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, just to name a few. I think there are 11, Reach, keep me honest, maybe 12, University of Alabama players that are currently on the Eagles roster. So it hurts so good to be an Eagles fan.
Yuck. All right. This is all right. You know what?
Are we done yet?
I was prepared to listen to Alabama stuff with class and tact.
Wrong show, friend.
Oops. No, well, fine. All right. So Jalen Hurts entered the draft from Oklahoma, so I can live with that.
No, you know what? It's fine. I had this conversation at work the other day. He might have graduated from Oklahoma, but he was raised by Alabama. So
okay, all right, that's good. That's good. And actually, so funny thing about Jalen Hurts, I think about him a lot in the sense of in which obviously the transfer portal was a more hot commodity at that point, but not as hot as it is now. How many players could you imagine that would stick around, especially after being benched, after having to come back in after Tua gets hurt, the whole shebang there. Kudos to Jalen Hurts. That was one thing I was very impressed by, was his ability to stick before finally leaving to go to Oklahoma. But I couldn't imagine, because I know I wouldn't. There's no way I would have hung around for that long. Embarrassing me in the national championship and letting Tua take over. Maybe he was having a bad game. I can't remember. But then, like, for him to go to Oklahoma and just like ball out the way he did, it's like, man, I wonder.
But I think that's it's a different generation of player. I mean, Jalen Hurts and even Tua and the draft classes before them. These are guys that wanted to play football because they loved football. The generation that we're seeing now, they are chasing money, which is fine because, I mean, you can't play football forever. So this is the way that you want to kind of set up your early retirement at what I'm only assume is going to be 35 years old. Lucky dogs. That's good on them. But that's a different league of players back then. And I will agree with you. Disrespectful. The disrespect was loud, but disrespect against quarterbacks is always really, really loud. And I don't blame Jalen for leaving. I mean, we could talk about that on a whole other show, but that's a different kind of player. That's a player that loved football, that got up, studied plays, reviewed film, lived it. Wasn't in it for the money. He was in it for the love of the game.
Like Arch Manning. Can we say that Arch Manning's this type of player too? He's sat the bench as one of the top rated quarterback prospects, and we're finally going to get an opportunity to see him now. That's
actually a really solid point. I wouldn't have, but I'm sure there was plenty of incentive for him to, stick it out. As far as with him versus Quinn Ewers and what we saw, and I saw there was a vast difference statistically, anyways, with when Arch came in and how dynamic the offense became as opposed to, and not that it was Manila under Quinn. Honestly, as a Steelers fan, I was kind of rooting for us to go after Quinn. I didn't think that Shador would fall into our draft area or that we would overlook him. But I just felt like, someone safe that's going to do something smart. And he's going to make the smart play, the safe play. He's not going to turn the ball over. I mean, I want to say last year, Quinn Ewers' average yards per pass was like 7 to Arch's yards per pass was nearly 10. And there's a lot of different dynamics to go in that, from, Arch's ability to run to Ewers Ewers being a more safer decision maker. or more conservative, I should say, decision maker. But like, I thought that Quinn still has a great place. And look, with all the issues with Tua, it's not far fetched that we might see Quinn make a debut this season and perhaps hopefully look better. I don't know.
For sure. I could see that.
There's a lot of different, variables and possibilities. And that's the beauty of the preseason, is that everybody's got a chance. Before we talk about your fan story, Riz, you brought up Mechie going to the Eagles. And, we're not talking about a guy who's had just an absolute, off the charts career thus far in Houston. Does this feel like a big trade? Or does it feel like a big get for the Eagles for you?
I mean, I think it does. And I think that if you watch a lot of other teams now, Miami did not do awesome. They did not do awesome last season. They had a pretty terrible season, but they also have a pretty batshit crazy coach, which doesn't help. But when you have players that connect with players that they've played with previously, it really does all come together. And there is something just a little bit special about kids. I probably shouldn't even call them kids now that they're in the NFL, but there is something special about players that come from under that Saban umbrella that just play better together. So I think that the Eagles are putting together something really special. I think that we're going to see, and we also can't forget that Mechie was doing cancer treatments. He was beating cancer this entire time. So that's not something to shake your head at, because the man
get drafted and get leukemia. Yeah. So just something to keep in mind. I think this is going to be good for Eagles. I think they picked up a really great addition for their team. I really do.
Well, so the way I assessed it, again, I was not real sure because of Mechie's kind of, and I forgot about the whole cancer thing. That as excuses go, that's a pretty good one. But what I hung my hat on, which I hate I have to say it this way, but Howie Roseman, right? That's the GM of the Eagles, yes?
Yeah.
He is this dude can't miss. He reminds me of Ozzie Newsome, the GM that retired from the Baltimore, where there's no literally if they are going after Mechie, the way Roseman has moved the last decade has been nothing short of amazing, and it's pretty impressive. So I would say if he's trading for Mechie, I gotta feel like he's probably making I'm sure he sees something. He's got a plan that's probably gonna work. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing like a Super Bowl win that makes you feel a little invincible in your decision making.
Touche. But he also, he's also the architect that put together the team that beat the Patriots, right? He's also the architect, even though Jalen Hurts went and lost. Jalen Hurts played extremely well. Patrick Mahomes just played better in the Super Bowl loss. So it's not even anything to hang your head about. That the Eagles played an outstanding Super Bowl, even in the loss, and then of course building this team through the trenches and kind of retooling that D-line. And ironically, you talk about the number of Alabama players. It for a while, that defense felt like it was the Philadelphia Bulldogs. And there was, it's worked. That's the key, is that, I think there's a correlation. And for what it's worth, even in saying that it's the Georgia team, it's Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart spent, a lifetime under Saban. So,
it's the Saban umbrella, but for the longest time, who Saban came from? Coach. It starts with a P, and it's completely lost me.
Saban.
Nope, Saban is under history. It's Coach. I can't think of it right now. But the coaching tree, Bobby. It'll come to me later.
Okay.
It'll come to me later.
At a perfect time, by the way. It's gonna.
Yeah. It'll come to me right as we're signing off. But also, you can't forget that it's also a product of the SEC. And
True.
I know we talked about this the other day, but the SEC does football differently than the other conferences. And that's just truth of the matter.
It really just means more. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but like it's different here. So my brother literally just moved from Chicago. Like I think they just settled in like yesterday. My mom was telling me, and so but he was living in Chicago, and his wife was working at Northwestern, and so they've got last year Northwestern beat a top 25 team or something like that, right? And so I think they're sitting in a suite, this is the Monday after they win this game. My brother like comes up to meet some of her, cohorts or whomever, and he was like, he's a big sports head like me. We all grew up in Arkansas, and so he says, "Hey, so about that game." And it was kind of a like, what game, right? You just beat like a top 25 team in the nation, and they were going about business as if they did, as if they beat the Sisters of the Poor. It's like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Northwestern hasn't even been that good in a long time, and even more like to beat a team that also was really, really good. And there was just nothing. Nobody cared. Like the Cajuns down here were excited to lose to Florida State. You understand? It's a different level of care in the South when it comes to football in particular, and pretty much most sports. There's something to be said about it. And I'm sure in the annals of history, people will look back and see the craze that was the Southeastern Conference, and I'm sure it'll be studied by sociologists and psychologists for years. So tell us how you happened on the Eagles, Marisa.
No, I think I just am a huge fan of Jalen Hurts. And I think that as Alabama fans, we have the tendency to follow our players throughout the rest of their careers. That's not to say that I wasn't a Steelers fan at some point when Minkah Fitzpatrick got drafted. I was a Miami's fan when Tua got drafted. I was a Raiders fan when before Josh Jacobs and Henry Ruggs ended up in Las Vegas. But I follow my guys where they go, because I think it's when you go to school, and this kind of goes back to the SEC, you go to a school where your entire weekend can be made or break by what happens on Saturday.
Yep.
It's in your blood, and you feel like emotionally invested with some of these guys. So I go where my teams go.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually, and I appreciate the honest candor there. One of the things I found, and so one of the things that kind of attracted me to you guys' pod is the fact that understanding that we're not just talking to, which it's Patriots fans and Bama fans. It's kind of hard to say that who's bandwagon now, because those teams have had such a long-standing dynasty at this point. But to know that you guys were there under the Shula era, God bless you. Like I trust me, two people I never feel bad for is a millionaire or a Bama fan. But if you stuck it out in the middle of
we had a stretch of mics.
Kind of praying that same downfall on Kalen DeBoer, but we'll see what happens. It's so far so good. They made the playoffs, right? So I don't know.
Didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
it was close.
Touche.
And even we agreed that we didn't belong. Where we 11th at the end of the season? Even we agreed that we didn't belong there. We should have been 15th. I think we thought that a bunch of other teams should have. Was it USF?
South Carolina. South Carolina 100%. Or Ole Miss should have been in before us.
100%. Yeah.
All right. So let me tell you this Bama story, and then we'll get going on what we actually came here to do. So one of the things that I hate most about Alabama fans, I know you know this, And I don't know if everyone else has this phenomenon, but Arkansas has been bad at football or not great at football for a pretty good amount of time. I was just discussing with I was telling you guys about my best friend Trail. He's my Louisiana best friend, I should say. I met him here. He was the first person that was nice to me, and we've been friends ever since. But naturally, he's an LSU fan, and so not fond of his sports teams either. And so and again, I don't know for sure that this same thing happens here in Baton Rouge as it did in Fayetteville. So Alabama would come to Fayetteville every other year, and they win the game 47-14 or 52-7 or whatever. And so, like I said, I did security, and so at least with LSU fans, we may lose the game badly, but we usually win the fight. And if we didn't win the fight, at least we could call the cops, and all the LSU fans would go to jail. But Alabama fans were the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. And nothing frustrates me more than that, right? Like, I know. Listen, I had to explain this on Instagram the other day. Like, if you're going to kick my butt, as I was, the phrase that was introduced to me yesterday was that Alabama booty blasted us.
Wow.
Yep. Yep, and it felt real accurate. This was during the time when this was before Alabama got quarterbacks, as a matter of fact. And we're talking. Did y'all have a booty as a quarterback at one point?
Yeah, John David Booty? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of booties. They're from up in North Louisiana.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, during the non this was before like the Julio Jones and like before Alabama became just this machine of unstoppable freak talent. When it was just like that great front seven and Mark Ingram and company were toted 35, 40 times a game. And so, but I mean, they would come in and they beat the living daylights out of us. And then, like, this guy comes up to me and he's got on his Alabama vest and a pair of Sperry's, and so yes, and I worked at a frat rat bar too. And so he comes in, what a great game today, and I was like, yeah, not really. And he goes, oh, I know, but you guys are gonna get back there. And so meanwhile, Bobby Petrino's walking around with a cuff on his neck, and so there's no, he's gone, and we got beat by Louisiana Monroe that year too. Like, it's just a bad year. And then Alabama comes and just throat punches us, and this guy's just, oh, well, you guys are gonna get better. You want me to buy you a shot? Fuck off, bro. Like, what? All right, put one in the swear jar. I'm trying not to cuss, but like, bro, go fuck yourself, pal. Like, what? Like, at LSU, they come like they beat us. And here's the other thing: LSU would beat us 37-34, and they would walk around like they beat us 52-7. Meanwhile, Alabama would beat us 52-7, and they walk around like they lost by 7. And it's just like, what is this? LSU would come in and they got, oh, hey, y'all, we beat y'all. Man, get out of here. Like, and I could like punch him in the face. I can't punch a nice guy in the face that just offered me a shot. I mean, it was a lemon drop. Whatever. Thank you, I guess. Let's party. Jeez, like, I don't want to be nice to you after you booty blasted me. This is stupid. I've never, and I've been more mad at Alabama fans since then than I've ever been at LSU fans, because, like, please don't beat me and then be nice. You can rub all the salt you want in the wound. Just don't be nice about it. This is maddening. It's
because you're so nice to us. I went to one of those games that you speak of, and I've never been treated so nicely at tailgates. Everyone fed me a bowl of chili. Everyone poured me. What is your drink that's made with Chambord? I was like, oh, like, that's so nice. Thank you. I didn't expect people to be nice to me, but it's because you treat us with respect. We treat you all with respect.
Okay, all right. So we got to start being more.
No, 100%.
It's welcoming.
Which is funny because, like,
great.
I hate UGA, and that was because I went to UGA for the Alabama UGA game. And we were staying at a girl's house, and Alabama beat UGA, she kicked us out that night. So I am dragging my stuff with two of my friends down Broad Street across train tracks to find another place to stay because this girl was so butthurt that Alabama beat Georgia.
Oh God!
Nothing good happens in Athens. I'm just going to go ahead and toss that out there.
God bless that woman wherever she's at. I'm sure she's doing well. Like so my mom lives in Atlanta now. Well, not actually Atlanta. She lives in Monroe. And you said you're from that way or familiar with the area, right? But yeah. So actually, I think she shops more in Athens than she does in actual Atlanta. And yeah, I don't know. I was in the town and I was walking around Kroger's with my mom. And so, which I guess I'll say this. As a Arkansas fan, and I told y'all off air, I kind of want us to just leave the conference. We can't. There's too much money and too much respect that comes from the conference that we can't leave it. But I kind of want to because one, I would love to I want to be at the top of the heap, booty blasting everyone. Yeah, no, shout out.
Let's retire that term.
Yesterday, my guy Freezy Sports says it. So yesterday was our in case you guys were busy winning another championship somewhere. Yesterday was our fantasy football game show draft selection order. So I've got a quiz of 15 questions, which I would love for you guys to take. I don't know if y'all know how much NFL trivia you have. I would love to send that to you just to let you run it and see what you get. But so we're going through this and we're talking about afterwards. We're talking and one of the guys that's in the fantasy league. It's a content creator league, right? So win, lose, or draw, everybody's gonna get tons of airtime. We're gonna do a weekly show. There's a lot. It's gonna be cool. Shameless plug, by the way. But in the middle of this, my guy says that his team got booty blasted, and I've never heard a phrase as funny. And so I'll be saying that for the next 8 to 10 days. And we will also be naming our last place trophy, the Booty Blast Award.
Love
that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I've thought this through. I don't know exactly how I'm going to turn that into a trophy yet, but there's a will, so there's a way.
I can't wait to see this.
Nervous.
The struggle I've gone through thus far trying to find the right kind of cartoon booty to put.
Your algorithm on your computer or phone is all messed up. That's all I got to say. I'm scared about what you're scrolling through.
Real rough.
Yeah, let's just not get into it. I'm working on streaming on TikTok, and so I've got to study algorithms and a bunch of other stuff. And the more I learn, the less I like social media. It is a mess. But yeah, so that is the term. So just since we're talking about it, I'm going to find a hat with booty cheeks. I've seen this before, so I know I can find it with booty cheeks on the hat. And then I'm going to have a T-shirt made that's got the cartoon booty cheeks, and then it's going to have the PAL sign, the PAL emoji next to the booty cheeks, and it's going to say, "I got booty cheek PAL." And then my Fanatic Sports fantasy logo. And so it'll read, I got booty blasted in the Fanatic Sports Fantasy Podcast, or the Fanatic Sports Fantasy League. And so they're going to have to wear the hat, and wear the trophy into a restaurant and eat something absurd. I can't think of, the first thing that came to mind was, I don't know if y'all seen the movie, Norbert, are y'all movie watchers?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you remember this part, but Norbert used to eat the what was it, turkey ass, chicken ass, something like that. And so there's a back of a chicken carcass with a butt cheek on it. That was my first thought, but I know that's not. I don't think that's real. But then I thought about some Rocky Mountain oysters or something silly like that. So
I vote Chick-fil-A. I think that's a really good place for you to go into with that.
Nice Christian organization.
Or like a McDonald's that still has a play place.
Oh God. Yep. All right. Well, that will suffice. If we can't find anything absurd to eat there, we will definitely wear that. That's an addition. Thank you. You will be wearing your "I Got Booty Blasted in the Fanatic Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League" shirt and hat to both McDonald's and the Lord's Chicken House. And they're gonna. You don't have to get in it. The play area. And actually, I think they just renovated the Chick-fil-A by my house to have a play being now. So yeah, that's.
Perfect.
So don't lose.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
There's your motivation.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gravy. Ironically, I'm picking 12 in order to put together the quiz that I'm going to send to you guys. I had to recuse myself from being a part of it, right? So I'm picking 12. But I mean, look, there's 15 good players in the NFL, so I'm sure I'll be okay with the 12th pick.
Yeah. 15 healthy
12
ones.
and 13, right?
Yeah.
With the snake format, so you get two. Yeah.
It works itself out there. But actually, the guy who introduced the phrase "booty blasted" also did win the. Oh, that's a good one, Marcus. All right, so I'm very happy that I went over Instagram. He gave me the. I found the butt cheeks that we're going to be using. So,
Oh my God, hilarious. I cannot wait to see this.
Imagine that you guys agreed to come on our podcast to talk, and this is what we're talking about. Congratulations. Congratulations on all your success. This is what you've done. But thank you, Marcus. Look, Marcus will be joining us later this week. He's a spray paint artist. This is really dope. And so he's doing spray paint murals of different players. He's got he's working on I'm sure y'all would love this one. Hey, Marcus, y'all send him send him that Justin Jefferson mural that you're working on. They're gonna love it. Radio silence. All right, that's fair.
I was going to ask, is he standing next to the new cheerleader that's over there? Like,
no, it's actually it's a Minnesota version of
gotcha.
Justin Jefferson, so you don't have to hate him as much. All right. I think I only said there'd be a little shenanigans. There's been more than there's supposed to. Let's talk SEC preview. Would you like to start or end with the Crimson Tide?
We could probably end on a good note.
We hope will be a good note, right?
We hope. Yeah, we hope.
Right. Okay, so the interesting thing this year about the Southeastern Conference is that they are no longer having divisions and conferences, or I guess so. Now, are you a little abreast on this with how this is going to work? I know we're playing 8 or 9 conference games, something like that, and then I mean, top 2 teams are headed to Atlanta. Is that the way that the way it's going to look this year?
Nope.
Okay.
No more East and West Conference. And I think last year they had done away with East and West Conference too. It was just the top 2 teams. And I thought it was fun because I feel like the SEC West was always more stacked and a much harder schedule than the East. So if you got through the West, you were automatically always going to win the SEC championship. But the top 3 teams in the West were always better than the top team in the East, especially when Tennessee and Florida were down. South Carolina.
It's always end up being Georgia, because then it's who else is left? Florida hasn't played granted, Florida had a schedule that was hard as hell last year, and it's hard as hell this year. So they're never going to make it to the top if they get pummeled every single week. I
know it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
What was fun for me was when they added Missouri to the East. That was
doesn't make any
I
sense.
don't know. Yeah, and so I honestly, my thought was we move Auburn and Alabama to the east, and then you got A&M and Missouri in the west, and then especially when they brought in Texas and Oklahoma, it just made sense to me. Which also, complete transparency, I was really ready. I don't think the West would have been that hard if we move Alabama out of the West. So, I think because we beat LSU more times than we beat in the last 20 years, we haven't beat Alabama once. I don't think we haven't beat Alabama since 06. Shout out to Ben Cleveland and Mitch Mustang. But we beat LSU 100 times in the last 20 years. So I can. They're going to be a better team than us 9 times out of 10, but I can live with that because, I mean, especially because during the Les Miles era, we always had a chance. Oh, God, I don't know why, but at the end of the year, we had a shot. But always, I don't know if Les he chewed too much straw or something. I'm not sure, but it worked. It got a little bit harder under Ogeron. He was just smart enough to go get good coaches and good players. And Brian Kelly's got a great team this year, and got some pieces, but it's Brian Kelly, and I just don't trust him to win a championship.
If Brian Kelly can capitalize on all of the defensive players he picked up in the portal, I mean, they had like the #1 portal class, and the gaps in their program last year were not around being able to score points with Nussmeier. It was around not allowing you to be outscored by your opponents. So they have picked up stellar players in the transfer portal to plug up those defensive holes. If it works the way it should work, they're challenging Texas in the SEC championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's there's that makes the most sense. I'm of the mindset that quarterback play is key. And that's the argument I was having with a couple of my LSU friends is that, look, I mean, they've got a really good team, but I mean, for whatever reason, something's up with their defense in the way it structures. They can't stop the run. And that may change. They've got a really good D tackle in the middle of their defensive line. And then what scared me the most was they brought back Harold Perkins. And this is, I'm sure you guys remember him. He was a terror, and losing him made me extremely happy. And I was like, all right, great. He blew his knee. He's going to the league. No way he's going to come back. And then when we played them last year, there was these kids. Which, by the way, all right. So I know I've been ragging on Bama quite a bit. I'll jump on the other side now and tell you that the thing I hate most about LSU is that these kids love mullets down here. And nothing says uneducated like mullets. And I don't know why. Like you were saying, Rachel, trying to get away from that trailer park mentality. And down here, they just want to give it a big trailer park hug. I don't get whatever. I don't know. But that one of the kids, Weeks, the middle linebacker, has a mullet, and I hated him ever since. I mean, like, we were 3 plays into the game. This was before he had terrorized Taylor, and then when Taylor went out, our backup quarterback and everyone. Just as soon as I saw him take off his helmet and I saw that mullet, that's it. I hate this kid. I don't want him to like die, but like
it's doing what it was intended to do. You're talking about him.
Well, here's the worst part. He's got baby brothers coming, and they too have mullets. This is frustrating. And they also, as I thirsty to get to the quarterback as older brother, and then you add Perkins in, and then there's some other guy they grabbed. So like, this is just absurd. The defense is absurd.
Yeah, they grabbed 7 or 8 new ones through the portal that were all extremely highly rated. So I mean, on paper, they should be good this year. They're loaded on both sides of the ball. If it's not this year, I worry about Brian Kelly's job.
Well, if Brian Kelly puts half as much effort into that fake Southern accent as he does in developing his players, he should be great. Like, he just has to make sure that he's like fully developing a strategy and then going with it. He's so busy trying to convince everyone that he belongs down at LSU instead of just doing your job and coaching the boys to play football. It's not like this man is like doing the magic showman. It's like, bro, we don't care. We don't care. We just need you to win games.
That's and that stupidity is my saving grace. Because I got to tell you, I've not been to a parade, one of their championship parades yet, but I did have to work down the street from one not that long ago, and it is maddening. Like I mean, it's fun at the same time, but the level of hatred I have for this, not these people, love the people, hate the sports programs, and it absolute maddening. So to watch them win, and even worse, not only did they win the championship against the Chanticleers or whatever, but they put us out of the baseball tournament. Just God bless these people, and so being drugged down here into this don't even get me started. Anyway, yeah. So quick question from a co-host who should be here. Apparently he had to work or whatever, so you're not alone, Marissa. You too. He too will be also receiving demerits. But his question is, and speaking of LSU and their pickups in the transfer portal, are you guys liking to pick up the transfer portal and NIL so far?
I know, Rish, you want to go first?
We're
pretty passionate.
Soapbox. I will get on a soapbox. So you do a really good job of like calming me down because you are the voice of reason. So I'll let you go first.
I know, the yin and the yang. So I think that our opinion is that we do think that there's a lot of positives with the transfer portal when it's not abused. The whole like transferring because of money, transferring because you're upset about your playing time, transfer for one school, then transfer the next year, and you're just chasing the money. Like we don't like that aspect of it. Okay. What we do like is the opportunity that it gives players maybe that have a lot of potential, but they're sitting behind somebody with more potential, and they're not getting that opportunity to play and showcase their talents in order to get to the next level. I think that it's causing a lot more parity in sports, which is good. You know, you're not seeing the same 5 teams, 10 teams at the top every year. It's giving other schools the opportunity to build a team and to put some quality talent on the field in a rather quick way. So I think those are really good elements. The NIL stuff is completely out of control. It's batshit crazy, and there's no regulation on it. And I think that is the downfall of college sports at this point. It's really making it so, like to Marissa's earlier point, that kids aren't going to play for a school for 3 or 4 years because they love that school, they love the institution, they're buying into the program. It's really empowering players more than it is coaches to allow the players to say, like, we have control of this program. We're going to dictate what our rules are. And the coaches are therefore not just able to focus on bringing in new talent and recruiting younger players. They're also having to re-recruit the same players every year to keep their roster and keep their talent in place. So from that element, I think NIL has a long way to go. I think players should be paid for their contributions to the program. We're not saying that. But does somebody need to bring in and make $4 million a year? I mean, let's ask Nico Iamaleava how he feels about NIL and playing that card, right?
Well, so, when you bring up Nico, then you've got to bring up his little brother Madden, which this is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Why would Madden go to UCLA? Because Nico's going to UCLA.
I know.
Madden plays quarterback, and Nico plays quarterback. There's only one of those on the field per game or per team, and I was really shocked. And I mean, to be fair, so let me start by saying when it comes to NIL, and then we'll get to Anthony has another question. I love the chaos of this, honestly. And as I told you, I'm a cheerleader for foolishness, and this is at the top of the list. But like I don't understand some of the logic on this thing, but I mean, like what they're doing, that's a disgrace. I'll admit it is. But for so long, and look, I transferred from one school to another, and it was red tape out the wazoo, and grades didn't work out. And by the time I finally got eligible to play, I was out. I had 1 year of eligibility left, and look, to be fair, that was all my fault. I didn't take care of, as Marshawn Lynch says, I didn't take care of my chicken. But aside from my own personal issues, the other thing with NIL in particular, again, for decades there have been rich people that have been making millions, and I should say billions with a B, off of this. So, like I said, there definitely needs to be there's a happy medium that we have gone well past into this chaos of where I think about Bryce Young a few years ago making more than his offensive coordinator, right? That I don't know if that's the right answer either. But if we get back to the place where Reggie Bush said that $2,500 was walking around money, that's not good either, right? There's a happy medium that we need to find. And Anthony mentions, he asked, should there be caps on NIL deals?
100%.
100%. Mm-hmm.
I think if not a cap, at least a contract type. Look, if we're gonna do business, let's do business. The idea
if you don't put a cap on it, and you've got a freaking 21-year-old that's like, hey, I'm ready to get drafted into the NFL. By the way, I was making $10 million at UCLA. So come at me, Cowboys. What do you have for me? And they're going to be like, sorry, dude, because we've got another joker that's already making $1 billion. Well, we don't have $10 million for you. We have $900,000. Will that suffice? And you know what he's going to have? And then he's going to sit there and be like, all right, fine. Then I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to do another red shirt senior year at UCLA. And then I'm going to open a dealership or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Like, you're just like really diluting the talent pool with that, because then it's like, you've just got these dudes that are just bouncing from place to place. And then I've got no concept of what a contract looks like when they get into the NFL. They're just like going based off what they've already been exposed to.
And that's the thing that I think is that's the level of chaos where it's kind of like, all right, guys, can we reel this back? Can we dial it back a little bit?
But that's not fun anymore. That's not chaos. That's the NFL junior. You know how pissed off I would be if I'm a booster out of school and I've got a freaking Dak Prescott sitting down there on the bench? I would be absolutely livid. Absolutely livid. Like, there's just no way.
I think about Caleb Williams. When you mentioned that, I think about Caleb Williams and his. Yeah. I mean, he literally threatened, like, look, and he's playing ball in LA, which makes sense. So he's like, I'm not going. If there's even any remotely us talking about going somewhere we don't want to be, and then like even after like him deciding, okay, I will commit to the NFL. There obviously Chicago had the pick, and there was a lot of concessions that Chicago had to make to like kind of woo him into coming to to being okay.
And look at where Chicago is now.
Look, listen, I've got some friends that are Bears fans. I'm totally fine with it.
Well, look at Carson Beck, right? He declared for the draft, and then he was like, "Oh wait, what? Cool, I'm going to go back to college and go play at Miami for $4.5 million a year."
Yeah,
awesome.
Not everyone's got the patience for a 30-year-old on their roster. I'm just saying.
You know what? I feel a lot of shade coming from over that in that direction, and I don't know that that's necessary.
But it's just like I think it's really funny because we were talking about this the other day. Like, State Farm dropped the ball by not offering Jake Fromm any kind of deal.
Yeah.
But like at 29, 31 years old, shouldn't you be working at State Farm or like have a legitimate other job? Because that's just weird. If you're I mean, not to hate on your fellow Razorback, but to be 30 years old playing with a legitimate 18-year-old that has just come from high school. If I was a parent, I would be on the sideline with a 12-gauge shotgun ready to blow people up, because I'm not going to have a grown-ass man hit my 18-year-old and then think that's okay. That's not fun anymore. That's weird, because I only see a kid get absolutely blasted by a 30-year-old defensive lineman who's been blasting grown men his entire. No, I got a problem with that. That's like I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try out for a girls softball team. and I'm just gonna start cracking it on these kids, like an 11-year-old team, like my local park team, and play softball. How pissed are you if you're a parent on that team?
All right, hold on. Let me pull up this picture. Just only because I need you guys to understand that it may not be as bad as we thought. Where is that? Oh, it's in my other drive. Okay, so I wanted to pull up a picture of my cousins. Baby brother is six, the little brother is 6'6" and 300 and he just lost weight, so he's 305 now. And big brother is 6'9", 220. So yeah, well, so our pawpaw was the shortest of three boys at 6'4". So yeah, apparently it runs in the family. And so maybe I mean and look, both of them have deeper voices than me, and I'm 40 and they're both 18 and 19. So I mean there's a little bit of just I don't know. I mean I can't say I don't want to say that the guy, and I can't remember his name, the 30-year-old sophomore. He's a red shirt sophomore.
Sophomore. What the?
This is what I'm talking about.
How many gap years did he have? Jesus Christ.
And now listen, Rach. So now under these new freaking NCAA guidelines, he's got up to what? 9 more years of eligibility to play?
I think
so. You got a 40-year-old? No, I'm sorry.
Send him his AARP card.
If I see him tackle someone, I am calling the police.
Listen, he's gonna get hurt. These kids are gonna hurt him. A 40-year-old, like playing with these 18-year-olds.
Well,
I mean,
my knees hurt.
I'm nearing that age, and God, I know my back hurts.
Well, he's got old man strength. So, but he also, I mean, like that's the thing. And he's actually played professional baseball. I would love to know what is allowing him to come back. But despite his age and baseball experience, he is listed as a sophomore due to never having played college football before. Fair, all right. So after his run as in the MLB with the Brewers, Marlins, and Angels. Something funny? I don't remember the punchline.
Van Wilder, like, what are you going back to school?
Rach, that is exactly Van Wilder, bro. Pick a damn struggle. Pick a struggle. I'm sorry. You got to do something with your life. That is Peter Pan syndrome if I've ever heard it. Get the hell out. Your time is over. Your time is over. You better be a damn doctor, prepared for neurosurgery with all that schooling. What's his major? I need to know that. That is what I need to know. What's his major?
Oh boy, here we go. All right, let's see.
Business administration. I don't know. General business.
Major. I should have asked that. So the fun part was that I actually had so baby brother, actually older brother had an official visit. So I got an inside look at which I grew up in Little Rock, and I really did like mature in Fayetteville. Sort of. I'm almost an adult now. And so yeah. So I kind of knew the inner and out, but then like to kind of go behind the veil of what they don't show most of us is it's been fun and amazing. But no, I don't have a major decided yet. But and I forgot to ask about this guy. I'm sure it's fine. You'll be, whatever. He's gonna. I'm sure he won't be flirting with the other sophomores. Okay, if that's what.
Are you sure? I don't know. Maybe that's his intent.
Well, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to wear the booty blasted shirt as well. All right. Golly, have we previewed any more of the SEC? I know we talked about LSU. Can we talk about Vanderbilt? Is that okay?
Oh gosh,
I would say
fired.
Vanderbilt's number 1 in one area.
Being delusional.
Being delusional.
They have a quarterback that is number one on the confidence meter.
That's
it.
That works. Actually, so little insider story. I've got a friend who works in the NIL portion of business, and so he was reaching out to Pavia. And if I told you the number that Pavia's people asked for, you would be flabbergasted. But to tell you, just to put it into perspective, it was 3 times what that company was paying Travis Hunter.
That's what's number one on the confidence meter.
You know what? For him to be the leader of a team, more power to him, honestly, because they need that kind of like high energy, like good for him. But also, like, can we like remove them from the SEC? I have said this before on the podcast. Vanderbilt is not the school that I need people to be good at football. I need them to be good at everything else. I need you to be a good doctor. I need you to be a good lawyer. I need you to be a good psychiatrist. I need you to be good at those things. I don't need you to be good at football. I really don't.
Well, how do you feel about their basketball team and their baseball team? You go
well, I mean, that's like they're not a what? What are we even talking about? Their basketball team.
Their basketball team's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is one of those schools that like athletics should not be a priority. That should be a nice to have. I need them to be good at what. Like, if you have a whole hospital named after you, I need you to be, like, really focused on developing that. Like, that is what I'm concerned about. Also, like, how are you going to come to us and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to win the national championship? Your freaking stadium isn't even finished being completely built. Like, it is an active construction zone.
I saw something on Twitter.
2 ducks in a row.
I saw something on Twitter, and yes, Twitter. I ain't calling it no dang on X.com. That's weird. When I think of X.com, it's something that the FCC says I'm not allowed to say. So we'll
that's
leave
the
it there.
booty blaster.
All right, yeah, I think of the booty blaster. Yes, ma'am. That is. I'm glad you get it. You're getting on board here, Rachel. It's time. But I saw something on Twitter from a Vanderbilt enthusiast, and he was talking about how the rest of the conference laughed at them because they had they had like a crane or something holding up their scoreboard, and now
that's real.
Yeah, that's
we saw that
very accurate. Yeah,
and now they've got like I think it was $100 million that they had put into something else. I gotta find it now, because if I don't, it's gonna eke at me. But they were so proud of what's happening with their stadium. And I mean, you could imagine. And no, you're
wrong. Are they gonna put a dome on it? Like, I don't understand. What are we writing home about?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen,
is the architect from Vanderbilt? Because that also could be a point of conversation where we stop talking about the football team and maybe talk about who's building this thing. Like, where did that guy graduate from?
Probably DeVry.
But that is a problem. That is a problem, sir. Like, to be quite honest, I would almost prefer they graduated from Auburn, because at least Auburn's got a very good engineering school. See, like, that's them focusing on what they're good at, agriculture and engineering. Like, I have said this, I will never, ever take my dog to a vet that didn't graduate from Auburn, because I know that's what they're good at. Animals.
That's fantastic. Everybody's got a strong point, Riz.
Exactly. We got to focus on that. Focus on your strengths.
They're in the SEC to boost the GPA for the rest.
100%.
Like, keep us conference eligible, okay?
Yes.
Well, somebody's got to do it, okay? Yeah. All right. It can't be all championships for everybody. We're fine with that. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about a little more closely into the SEC was our quarterbacks. And one of the things that, like I alluded to it earlier, that, your quarterback play will have a big effect on the rest of your season. Now, it could be, and I would venture as far as to say that quarterback play could be the difference between 6-6 and 8-4, which I know for you Bama fans still feels like a bad year. But for the rest of normal society, that's an 8-4 season is a good season prior to the bowl game. Okay, I don't know if did y'all know that? Were y'all aware of that? That like if you win, it's okay to just win
8-4 would be pretty disappointing for us.
Yeah, I think we're like a 9-2 is disappointing for us.
Like we were 9-3 last year, and I thought it was like the worst of the worst of the worst. Even
But
Mike
you can't-
Shula didn't go 9-3.
Right. Well, you can't live like 13-0 7 years in a row and then be like, oh yeah, we're okay with 8-6. Like what?
I mean,
No.
losing to Vanderbilt was like the dagger through the heart last year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Mhm.
if it would have been, we would have lost to like a good team, not
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're emotionally prepared to lose to like an LSU and a UGA every single year. Like we're like emotionally prepared for that. Because like at the end of the day, people think our biggest rivalry is with Auburn, and it's not. Our biggest rivalry is with LSU and Tennessee. Like those are the games that like if a wedding is that weekend, we're RSVPing. No, like it's not going to happen. So like we just have a greater expectation.
So, and the fun part of that, so my sister's wedding was in 2010 was the weekend of Arkansas playing Alabama, and so you know what, my sister doesn't follow sports as closely as the rest of the family. And so, which to be fair, now that I work in hospitality, I work in hotels. I never understand why any weddings are happening in the fall. Even like the away games, we shouldn't have weddings in the fall. That's irresponsible for the man, and it's a bad start to the relationship. It seems to have worked out well for my sister and my brother-in-law, and actually probably the numbers don't support what I'm about to say. But I feel like if you allow your wife to pick a football weekend to have a wedding, I feel like that marriage is doomed.
To pick a bye weekend.
Bye weeks work. You can do a bye week.
Look,
but yeah, during the weekend it's tough.
Look, I got married in April. We had the longest freaking engagement ever because I'm like, we're not getting married during football season. We're not getting married during basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
April. After March Madness, after the NCAA championship, then we can get married.
Yeah.
Every time it's right before baseball playoff time. So that's good job for you, Rachel. Proud of you.
Well, I mean, that's my priorities are in order.
Oh, hey, that's why
it's just a wedding, right? Like we get to pick the day. Why are we picking something that's going to suck for people, including myself?
Yeah.
Unless you are like a very, very conscious bride and you're like, listen, guys, so the reception is going to be at this time because I got the game on. Yeah. And then maybe we'll just do our vows like at halftime. I mean, that's how I would do it.
Come on, hurry up. They just started kickoff.
Yeah. But also, like a 15-minute ceremony that's actually pretty clean. I'm for that.
I'm fine with that. So at my sister's wedding, we've got one person, because this was 2010, right? So there weren't games just all over the internet like now. And so somebody's got the game on. And best part, rest in peace to my good friend Ryan Mallett. He is on fire out of the game. I know. I
forgot about that.
Very sad. But he's torching Alabama's defense, and we are in this game. There's a chance. I want to say it was in Arkansas. So I mean, we're gonna beat Alabama. We're gonna do it. And then as soon as you're allowed to kiss the bride, then I want to say that's when our fullback fumbled it in the red zone, and as a matter of fact, it fumbled and rolled into the red zone and becomes a touchback, and then Alabama goes down and scores, and it just all fell apart. But no, we didn't. I mean, we're whispering. All the groomsmen are whispering up and down the line in the middle of to having the hold. But I mean, well, yeah, perfect. Yay, sis, good job. It's 15-10, y'all. Let's lock in right here. We got a chance. But no, it's Alabama, right? And that's a fun thing. But when you think about quarterback play, speaking of Mallett, there are some guys in this league that I feel like are going to be dynamic. But let's start with right at home for y'all. You have a new quarterback in Ty Simpson. And speaking of a guy who's waited his turn, that you gotta love that. To see that, because I think about, there's a fella that's at Pitt, Eli Holzen or something like that. He's from this way. That's the reason I'm familiar with the name. And I think he played 1 year at Alabama or something like that. And then he jetted right on out, and he's been in Pittsburgh, and I think they've got high hopes for him for his second year up there. So for someone like Ty to kind of hang around and wait for Milroe to go and give it, now he's finally got his chance. Do we? Is this a good thing? Are we happy about this?
Yeah,
I mean,
we're ready. We're ready.
And I just feel like I feel good about Ty Simpson because of that, because that means that he's that kind of player that we love at Alabama. I mean, I feel like we don't talk about Jay Coker had to sit behind Blake. I mean, we got a lot of quarterbacks that really have to wait their turn. And that kind of loyalty to a team is something that me as a fan, really loves to see right now, especially in this world of NIL and jumping into transfer portal and things like that. So I'm excited.
And I think that the difference between Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe is Jalen Milroe did not have a plan. 50% of the times he took a snap, it was okay, I'm going to figure this out. And it showed, right? I'm going to figure this out. I'm either going to run, I'm going to scramble, I'm going to try to throw it. Word out of camp is Ty Simpson reads defenses extremely well. He's super intelligent, and he has a plan every time that ball is snapped. He's a running quarterback. He can get out of the pocket. He can throw, but he also has pocket passing efficiency. So I'm super excited. I will say 3 months ago, I was who? We didn't get anybody in the portal? Really? What? Yeah. Why? Huh? But, hearing that DeBoer named him as the starter last week shows that he knows what his quarterback needs to hear to build that confidence. So we got it a week earlier than expected. And then I think that he's got a chance to be really successful. Hopefully our O-line's a little better than it was last year, because that was our ultimate downfall. Yeah. I'm excited to have Ryan Grubb on board. I think our offensive coordinator last year was an area of weakness for us because it was a scramble in the last minute to pull somebody in. But I think DeBoer's got his guy and Grubb's got his quarterback. So fingers crossed. I'm excited.
And we're blessed to have Ryan Williams returning. I mean, I think we're teed up for a good season.
I'm happy to hear this because I need somebody to beat LSU. We got to bring them down a notch. I'm very fine with that. Not super excited about. Oh no, we don't even play y'all this year. All right, good job, y'all. That works. And hey, maybe y'all can beat Texas too. This will be awesome.
A quarterback I am excited about that I think hasn't gotten a lot of press and play. It's his second year. Is Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina. Yeah. This kid has a tremendous amount of talent. He had an amazing season last year. I mean, South Carolina pulled off wins against OU, A&M, Missouri, Clemson. I mean, they had an epic run towards the end of the season. South Carolina is a team that's not going to get a lot of talk, but I think they're going to be a dangerous team in the SEC, and their schedule is favorable.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
And Mike Shula is the offensive coordinator to bring that back around.
Well, I was going to say, you said a lot of really positive things. And you just killed all right there. Yeah. I'm sure he'll do fine. And they got Beamer's boy up there coaching him.
Yeah, I love him. Shane Beamer's awesome. I mean, he's great.
The level of efficiency that that we all aspire to is to be a Beamer type of person. Yeah. I like, and that's the thing. There's so many really good quarterbacks. We talked about Pavia, and look, and for all of his actual shortcomings, that level of confidence it can be really, really useful when you believe in yourself the way he does. I mean, it goes through the entirety of the offense and even over to the defense. And so, that may be the one thing they need to make them better. Tell me your thoughts on Florida's DJ Lagway. And I like A&M's Marcel Reed as well. Any thoughts on those guys at the helm?
Lagway's another one of my favorites. Sorry, Russ.
No, I was going to
think
say he's one of my favorites too. He's got a lot of chutzpah, which I can appreciate, especially at a school like that. I think, I mean, he's got what I love from a legacy and returning and a veteran quarterback is that he continues to be consistent. And I think that's something that we're going to see in this season. So I really like Lagway.
He's got an elite core of wide receivers too to throw to, which I think is going to be obviously pivotal to his success. But he is a hungry learner, and I love that about him. He puts in the work. You can tell he puts in the work, and he's eager to take advice, to take criticism. I think he's one that feels the weight of the world on his shoulders, which there's good and bad with that.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna have a breakout season. He had a great season last year too.
That's pretty exciting. I think about Marcel Reed only because, like I said, with LSU, and I a lot of this is LSU centric because I really need them to suffer. And one of the ways that killed them was the mobile quarterback. We saw with Alabama and what Milroe was able to. I think Milroe just scored another touchdown on them, and so. But then we saw the same thing with Marcel Reed, and it kind of Alabama brought this blueprint of look, they seem to not. And what threw me is that Arkansas's got a great mobile quarterback as well, and there's also a ton of a ton of that supports the second year quarterback under Bobby Petrino. I believe that Lamar won his Heisman in his second year under Bobby Petrino. God forbid, it would certainly be great if we could get that level of play, which is right on par for Taylor Green. And I think it's possible. He's got that kind of really great build and ability to run. So I'd be excited to see it. But I was shocked that I didn't see that out of Taylor Green against LSU. And then the next week, Marcel Reed came in, and I forgot who their quarterback was. But they bumped him. He was more of like a traditional passer, and they bumped him and just started running like Tim Tebow playbook at A&M against LSU. And I mean, LSU just looked like they had never played football before defensively, and Marcel Reed was dominant. And now I think he's full-time starting at A&M. And I know that their head coach is his second year, and he's a really smart offensive mind. And A&M was smart to pick him up there. But and we could keep going. There's a ton of really good quarterback play all around the conference. It's actually pretty exciting to kind of watch as the list grows of just playmaker after playmaker at the helm.
What about Jackson Arnold? Interested to hear this group's thoughts about Jackson Arnold.
Please, let's.
He's a former 5-star recruit, right? Who was at the end of last year was riding the bench at Oklahoma. Hugh Freeze needs him to be successful.
Yeah.
As much as Jackson Arnold needs to be successful for Hugh Freeze. This is the science experiment down in Auburn that I'm very, very interested to watch. Now he does have some elite receivers, again, similar to Lagway, that he'll rely on, but I don't know. This Hugh Freeze experiment down in Auburn I think this is his last year to prove something.
Well, and so now Hugh Freeze is another really good offensive mind, right? And so I feel like maybe just that level of desperation that you described, Rachel, it probably would be. It could produce, a great season for them. I don't know, 8-4. I guess it would be a great season for them.
If Arnold performs the way that Freeze expects that he will, they could be a dark horse in the SEC.
Sure. And I think that it's definitely a possibility. And I'm not sold. Because
not either.
you talked about the elite receivers that Auburn will have. Oklahoma had they had some, and to be fair, a lot of them did get hurt. I want to say maybe their top 4 of their top 5 receivers were injured at one point in the season. But at the end of the day, he literally just got outplayed by I want to say it was a true freshman, Michael King, up in Oklahoma. But whoever it was, the things just got bad for Arnold. And so maybe a fresh start, a new mind, a new offensive voice may be a difference for them, for him. And look, it's good for the league. Having said all of that, were there any other teams in the league where you thought like, hey, maybe this could be an interesting team that you want to, or quarterback you want to talk about?
I mean, I think the Joey Aguilar experiment in Texas with that wife swap with UCLA
That'll be interesting.
will be
for sure.
interesting. I mean, I think that Kentucky has a 7th-year starter in Jake Calzada.
I beg your pardon. Are you
The
being
seventh year quarterback, Jake Calzada? I think he's going to be the worst quarterback in the league, but a 7th year, we're talking about 30-year-olds. They've got a 7th-year guy starting at quarterback. That'll be interesting. That's from the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
We have Gunnar Stockton. I'm interested to see what he's going to do in Georgia. We've
Georgia,
seen him for,
yeah.
we've seen him for 6
guy now, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him for 6 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Big shoes, but I mean, we saw him in the second half against Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him, for a few other games. We saw him in the Notre Dame game when they lost in the CFP.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Obviously, we're interested to see Arch Manning. I mean, that's I think what everyone across the country is the most excited to see, especially because we're going to see him have to put up a good game against Ohio State
out of the gate. Yeah.
Right off the
It is
gate.
the Arch Manning show this year. I think last year he did a really good job of like dipping his toe in. He wasn't like officially starting, but like it is all eyes on him this year. So it's going to be really fun to watch.
Just a point of information. It's Zach Calzada, and you aren't being sarcastic.
It's Zach Calzada. Okay. It is 7 years though, isn't it?
It's literally his 7th year of NCAA.
Yeah. Okay.
That means he's 25, guys.
I like how we're upset about a 25-year-old, but we're still not forgetting about the 30-year-old at Arkansas.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you keep bringing that up, and I don't know.
Because he's the oldest person playing college football right now.
He was in high school with me. That's not important. That's not important.
If someone can tell me that there is an older person playing college football right now, bring him up, and I would love. Even if they played for Alabama, I would love to have a conversation about it because this does not make any sense. It doesn't.
Who's the oldest?
Cam Rising was getting close.
Yeah. Oh, did he not get any more eligibility?
Yeah. Well, he went missing, didn't he? Do we know where he is? We haven't talked about him.
He finally retired. I think he said because he got injured again, and he's like, okay, cool. I'm not coming back for a ninth.
Well, that guy's built like Ben Roethlisberger, so he should have retired.
Hey, all right. Let's not say things about Ben Roethlisberger.
Big Ben.
Our Lord and Savior Ben Roethlisberger will not take kindly to those words. All right. The current oldest active college football player is Matt Ganyard at the University of Virginia. He's a 34-year-old kicker.
Ew. Gross. Gross. I would pull my daughter out immediately. Gross.
You're not sending the babies to Charlottesville?
Triple ew. No. Listen. Have you ever been to Charlottesville? There is nothing to do there. So that's exactly why I wouldn't let my daughter go there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nothing to do but chase a 34-year-old college football player. Ew. I don't care. Ew.
God bless you. Okay. All right. Well, that's so you think I'm interested. I've got questions. We need to find this guy and interview him. Would you guys like to be on that interview with us?
Absolutely. I have so many questions. Like, what is your life's plan? How do your hips feel? Do you have a 401k yet? Like, when is your colonoscopy scheduled? I have a lot of questions.
Well, wait a minute. Okay, he served as a Marine for 10 years. Does that help?
Oh my God.
What makes you want to come back and play college football? I'm just saying, like, you've served the country. You've done this like wonderful thing that we are all super grateful for, and then you're like, maybe I want to go get CTE? Like, I don't know.
Because PTSD isn't enough. I just like have so many questions.
Here's the wildest part, and I said I never would do this.
Thank you for your service, sir. I just need to go ahead and put that out there before all of the Karens and the trolls come for me. Thank you for your service, but I need you to choose another career path. Unless your goal is to go into the NFL. But I've got a lot of questions about which NFL team is going to draft. What year is he? At 34 years old?
Let's see. All right. Now
he's a senior, like
redshirt freshman.
He's joined the team in 2023. So this would be his second year. So he's a sophomore.
What team is going to draft him? Probably the Browns, because that guy's just collecting people at this point.
God, listen, there's nothing good that happens in Cleveland. I can't wait for them to put Shadur on their practice squad. It's gonna happen. I'm very excited about it.
Well, with everyone getting hurt, he might have a shot. I mean, he's hurt himself.
He's a freaking starter.
Yeah.
Please don't let him start, because I feel like he's gonna change the culture. Okay.
Well, Flacco is 52, so he's definitely gonna get hurt.
Hey, me and Flacco were born in the same year. Can you calm down over there? That's
okay. I'm calm. But he's like,
okay,
I'm putting him in the same bucket as Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And our favorite Aaron Rodgers. Like, everyone just needs to have a seat.
Yeah, let's
make room.
Let's just not talk about Aaron Rodgers. It's fine.
We'll save it for another time, because I've got lots to say about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Oh, Marissa.
We're not getting invited back, Rach.
You have to listen to our podcast to figure out our thoughts on that.
Yeah.
You're coming back tomorrow. That's what's going on.
I can't. We're filming our podcast tomorrow.
All right, that's fair. All right, gotcha. All right, so one last thing before we go. Anthony asked, who is that in the back? He thought it was Revis, but I don't think that's Revis in the back.
So I have Eli Manning. This Eli Manning.
Okay, and then the other one. Oh, is that Curtis Martin?
Yeah, Curtis Martin.
All right. Okay, so it's not. All right, that's good. It's not. Yeah. He thought it was Revis, So we had a Jets fan on yesterday. He joined our fantasy league, and so God bless the Jets. And actually, B-Roz, that's my guy, man. He's an awesome kid. And the first time I met him, literally the very first thing I said to him when I added him on Instagram, he had it was like aspiring sports journalist or something, or a future sports journalist. It said, and so the first thing I messaged him was, "Yo, take that future out of your tagline, man. If you're writing, you're a journalist now." And he was like, "Dude, thank you." And we've been friends since, so it was very good. Speaking of old people hanging out with young people, but also but he was literally almost in tears with how happy he was to get Justin Fields. And he had a viral clip, which I hope he met Justin. And I think I hope he showed that clip to him about how excited he was to have Fields. But he is but yesterday he had a Revis picture or something. So it's been very very conscious. Ant's from New York. He's our resident angry Puerto Rican. Yeah, which is exactly why y'all got to come back, because y'all got to meet.
Yeah. We'd love it.
Oh, perfect. Very good. So all right, tell everybody about Sports Uncorked one more time and where we can find you. Any shameless plugs?
Riss, you want to take it? You want me to take it?
You got it, Rach.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we are on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, and our show is exactly what you heard today. It is extremely opinionated. It is unfiltered. We talk about all things sports related. Obviously, college sports are our favorite. College basketball is like the heart and soul of what we do, but we cover the PGA Tour, we cover LIV, we cover NBA, we cover, really all sports, big topics that are coming up. We usually record and release on Friday. So Friday morning, you'll see something released to us. So if you subscribe, you'll get those updates. But it's fun. We're drinking wine. We're drinking beer. We're, talking about what's, top of mind politically, not really politically, just
Not
kidding.
really. We're like
in the sports world.
in the world of sports.
In the world of sports, yeah. But yeah, it's a fun show. It's about 30 minutes usually, and just
so you guys don't normally go this long?
No. Well, not recording.
No, I mean we don't cut. It's all unfiltered. So I mean we record and then we release it.
We are not for the faint of heart. If you're easily offended, maybe not the show for you.
So definitely the show for me. Then.
It's fun. It's really fun.
Well, I definitely appreciate having y'all on here, and I'm looking forward to having y'all again. Also, we'll definitely figure out this how to deliver wine to you guys. That's
okay.
I don't know. Down here, and it's a byproduct of living in Louisiana. You could literally just have liquor. That not only do they hand it out the window into your car, for which they suggest you shouldn't drink while driving, which I never do.
Hand it to you in the driver's seat then.
But they also will bring it right on up to your door at your hotel room or wherever. So I forgot, and I was like, I'll just send it right over. And so I'm on Amazon at this point, like, all right, we'll just order a couple bottles and shoot them out, and nothing. So
no worries.
Yeah, we're fine.
I've got a library over here.
You got to try the Arkansas wines. They are fantastic.
Okay.
So
I've never had one. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll give that a try. Maybe we'll have to bring y'all in. So at the end of our fantasy football league, we're having a fan festival, which will be in Northwest Arkansas. It will be in the cold. Did it get cold in Alabama? Is it cold out there?
Yeah, it gets cold in Alabama.
Okay, all right.
I live in Colorado. I've got all the ski stuff.
We even get snow in Alabama sometimes.
Really? Okay. So all right, down here it's 95 degrees until Thanksgiving. Like this place is unlike any other place in the world, and you can take that for all the good and all the bad that it is. I've never been to a place like this, and I don't know if I want to say that I want to go back. I like it here. I do. I like it here. I mean, there's a lot of great people, good food, good music, but their football teams need to shove it. It's ridiculous. I guess I don't have a problem with the Saints. Whatever. Could be worse.
It could be worse. It could be the Bears.
Amen to that. It could be the Bears. One of my best friends is a Bears fan. He was born in Chicago, and up until I think about 9, he lived in Chicago until 9, and then he moved to Arkansas. And we were college roommates as well. And so he calls me. It's 2005, I think 2007. He calls me in the middle of the night and he's like, yo, the Blackhawks just won the Stanley Cup. I was like, bro, what? Like, I don't know. He's Chicago to the core. And so I didn't even have a football team for a long time. I just like trolling him for a while. And as a Bears fan, he deserves it. They deserve nothing but struggle in all that they do.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel. I think that Caleb Williams needs to paint his fingernails more. Whatever.
Listen, everyone's got their strengths and their weaknesses. Chicago's not a football city. Maybe we're a baseball city. I mean, always depend on good baseball in Chicago.
Yeah, touche. That is fair. And that actually is a perfect way to end it. I think maybe. Well, anyways, I really appreciate y'all joining us, and definitely look forward to having you back. You have to come back. That's a promise, right? So anything before we go? Nothing. Everyone happy? All right. Well, thank y'all again. And as I always say, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatic Sports Podcast.